everybody. Thank you for taking the time to watch this social emotional learning or SEL lesson. Today, we're going to talk about identifying emotions. So, to check in, I have a picture here of some different emojis, and emojis are pictures that stand for a word. So, sometimes we use emojis to show a picture of a face that stands for a feeling. So, looking at all of these different emojis, which one is your favorite? And you can say it out loud, or you can tell somebody at home, or you can just think it. I imagine some people maybe like the happy one, or the cool one, maybe the goofy one, or maybe the funny one. There's a lot on here. So, which one is your favorite? Okay, so using the same feeling chart, identify how you might be feeling right now. You might be happy or embarrassed or scared or nervous or feeling goofy or surprised. You might be kind of quiet or annoyed. You might feel pretty cool. You might be sad or you might be tired. You might be excited. You might be bored. You might be feeling kind of sick or frustrated or angry. You might be feeling funny, or you might be proud. So identify how you're feeling right now. And I just want to tell you that any way you're feeling is okay. What we'll have to remember is that how we deal with how we're feeling or what we do with our feelings is the important part. So today we will talk about the importance of identifying emotions, and that falls under the SEL or social emotional learning area of what's called insight. And that's how we identify our emotions and understand how it impacts how we think and how we act. This is important because it impacts how we feel about ourselves, and it also helps us recognize emotions in other people so that we can help them and try to be understanding with other people's feelings. Um, Today, we want to help students learn how to identify a wide range of emotions. And so at the end of the lesson, we want you to have a better understanding of of your emotions and how it might impact your body. And we'll talk about that. And just so we have kind of a working definition, emotion is like a feeling, and our feelings can impact our body or it can impact how we think. So sometimes we might feel maybe worried or nervous. And so we might get those nervous butterflies in our stomach, or we might be thinking about what we're nervous about and kind of worrying and fretting a little bit. And though that's an emotion, that it's a feeling that's impacting our body and how we're thinking. So here's some interesting facts about emotions. They can come and go. There's a range. You can feel really like strong emotions or really like light, mild emotions or somewhere in the middle. But all emotions are okay. And really what we do with these emotions is really what matters. So it's important to know how you're feeling so that you can understand yourself. You know how to manage your emotions better. You also know how you're appearing to other people. So we want to make sure that we are conducting ourselves and behaving appropriately. And so that means understanding our emotions and keeping those in check. We also might need to understand our emotions to know when we need a break or when we need help if we're really frustrated, perhaps. And we also want to help identify emotions so that we know when we're feeling great and happy and we can celebrate those good times in life because that's really important too. So now that we know that it's important to know how we're feeling and know our emotions, what are some ways that you can identify these emotions? Well, you can identify them by looking at your body through what's called nonverbals, or these are things that our body kind of does when we are feeling a certain way. And that can be a signal on how we might be feeling. So the first way is body posture. So if our back is real straight, we might be excited and ready to learn maybe, but if we're slouching, maybe we feel sick or tired or sad or we're bored or we're relaxed. Our facial expression, how we might our face might be can give us a clue as to how we're feeling. So it could be our eyebrows, our mouth, if it's smiling, maybe our jaws clenched, maybe our eyebrows are furrowed, or here they're kind of up. Her eyebrows are up. She's excited. She looks like she might be feeling kind of silly. Um, and he looks like he is either angry or intense right now, getting ready to play a game. We also can look at our hands. So, if our hands are open or they're clenched, that might give us a signal as to how we're feeling. And then our stomach or our head might tell us how we're feeling. So sometimes we get nervous butterflies or maybe we get a headache, and that might be an indication of how we feel. We can also tell by our voice. So sometimes our tone of voice might seem real firm, or it might be, just really, really excited. We also might have to listen to the volume or how loud our voice is. So maybe when we're really excited and we're at a football game or we're yelling for the other team, we know we're excited because we're yelling. So that's another way we can identify emotions. We can also identify emotions by our breathing. So sometimes if we are breathing, really fast and shallow, that might be an indication that maybe we're nervous or we're scared. And if we get in that position, we can take some slow, deep breaths to help calm ourselves down, so that we feel better and then can think about what we need to do next. Another way to identify emotions is to have an emotional vocabulary. And really, that just means that we're naming an emotion. So, remember when we talked about how you are feeling, and I went through all these different emotions? Sometimes a feelings chart helps us identify how we're feeling. So, sometimes we may not know, we might be thinking about what our face is doing or what our body posture is doing, but we still can't name it. And feelings charts can help us identify how we might be feeling. Even if we can't read these words, we might be able to look at the picture and know that's kind of how we're feeling. And so feeling charts are really helpful. So when we have different emotions, it's really important that we learn to cope or deal with these emotions. Because remember, feelings are okay, but how we deal with them is what really matters. So I'm going to tell you 3 kind of steps, and then the 4th one is here if you need it. So the first one is know it. And that means know what's going on with your voice, with your body. Just know what's going on so that you can help identify your emotions. And then once you know what's happening, name it. Name the emotion. So maybe you have to use a feeling chart to either point to the picture of how you might be feeling or just say the word of how you might be feeling. And then you want to feel it. So it's okay to feel different emotions, but remember how we deal with those emotions is really important. So if we are feeling really strong emotions, maybe frustrated, angry, maybe we're annoyed, or embarrassed, or even nervous or surprised, we can take some slow, deep breaths. So you want to breathe in through your nose, out through your mouth. So smell the flowers, breathe in through your nose, blow out the candles, breathe out through your mouth. And that can help you calm down if you do that a few times. And then you can think about next steps so you make the right decisions. So know it, know what's happening, so then you can name the emotion, feel it, and then if you need to, take some deep breaths. You got this. You can do this. So now that you've learned how to identify emotions, what is one way that you can identify your emotions? So think about that. You can think about it to yourself, you can say it out loud, or you can tell someone at home. So while you're thinking about that, I just want to leave you with this kind of picture here, of know it, name it, feel it, and then breathe. So know how you're feeling, look for signs, name it, name the feeling. Maybe you have to use a feeling chart. Feel it. Remember, it's okay to feel different emotions, but if you need to, take some deep breaths so you can stop and think, and then think about a healthy way to deal with your emotions. I want to thank you for your time today, and I hope you have a wonderful day full of being able to identify different emotions you might feel today. Thank you.